How's it going, everyone? You're watching the Green Dream Project. Jim here. Work on the shed continues. Once we're done with all of our little projects to help finish this thing off, hopefully it'll be much more temperature resistant year round. The next thing I'm gonna do is something I've been looking to do for a long time now. Got put off to the side because of all the other projects, getting the water done, but I'm gonna be cutting these things apart, turning these frames into single slats. That way I can put them up and finish off the top of the roof inside the shed. I gotta get busy because I'm going to need a lot of these. Let's get to it. Now, if you don't already know, we picked these up a long time ago. There's a canning facility down the road from us a bit. Sometimes they'll toss out pallets near the front of the place or these top frames, and it's just free for the taking, you know? Gotta take advantage of stuff like that, pick up some free materials, why not? Perfectly good material to use for building. Basically, I'm gonna use my Sawzall, and I'm gonna cut through all this metal holding these boards together. Let's rock. Yeah, you know what's about to go down now. Show Suggit Oh yeah, that's right. Let's get to burning some wood. Second row, same as the first. So I'm back at it with the next step, trying to finish off this shed. Now what I plan to do is get some of those boards that I prepared and start slapping them up there. But I can only go so far at a time because I'm going to want to get some insulation up there too. So it might be a little tricky. First one's up. So one thing I realized, I can't put too many boards up before I start with the insulation. What I decided to do for insulation is try using old plastic bottles. Now one of the best insulators you can use is gas, and this stuff is filled with air. Now this is something we're going to try on our shed. I don't recommend it unless you've done your own research on this because having plastic can be flammable, and so you don't want to use it inside a home or anything like that unless you take certain precautions. This is something we're going to try, see how it works for us up in the shed. I think it'll be okay. There's no way that this plastic is going to come into direct contact with any flames. So what I'm going to do is start adding these plastic bottles up in here. Try and pack it in as tight as possible. I may even use some plastic bags to fill in some of these gaps. And we'll see how this works. I think the main trick in doing this is going to be finding bottles with the cap still on it. It's compact in there, very tight. I think it'll be very nice. I don't know, I think these bottles are looking mighty fine up there. Be interesting to see how they work. This takes a little bit to get around up here. Now, throw some more bottles up here. Now put some more boards up. We'll just keep going. I'm just kind of using the plastic bags, filling in the gaps between the bottles. Ooh, looking mighty nice. And we got one sealed up, one cell sealed up. Smallest cell, one of the smallest cells, but hey, I'll take it. Get some more bottles up in here, more plastic bags, and we're moving right along. What would be kind of cool if this works is just the reuse of materials. Of course, one of the bigger problems of using all this used wood is not going to be perfectly straight. We'll have to fill in these gaps. Of course, wouldn't you know it? Hard at work and then something always happens. The blade on the miter saw finally got kind of dull. It's having trouble even cutting through that like 1/4 inch wood. Had to take some time, get a new blade, replace it. This is the first time I've ever had to replace the blade, so that's not too bad. I had to pull out the WD-40 because it was just a little rusted. But I picked up a new Hyper Tough blade. Got it at Walmart. Not 100% sure about the quality of these. Sometimes with these with the Hyper Tough brand, it's kind of like hit or miss. But we'll see how it does. Remember, the first blade lasted me for years, lots of cuts. And it's all set, ready to use. Nice. We are finally getting close to the end of this section. It's going to be tricky finishing this up. I don't know how I quite do it. I want to get it done though. If I don't stop dropping all these. Alright. It's actually looking pretty sweet. More plastic bags. Alright, we're getting there. Alright. One last thing I want to do to complete this section is to cut this pipe. I said I was going to do that a while ago. I didn't get to it. Now that I got some extra support in here, I got this attached to an extra 2x4. Now I got these boards here, keeping it steady. I'm going to give this thing a cut. It's looking mighty nice. Alright, thanks so much for joining me on this off-grid build. The shed is coming along. We've got to get this finished. Sooner, probably the better. So I think this is coming along nicely. It is taking me a little bit of time. Trying to get this done in between a lot of the other things got going on. But it's coming along. The bottleneck that's keeping me from going forward on this, though, is the supplies. I actually don't have enough plastic bottles and bags to complete the project. With all the people throwing away all these single-use plastic bottles and bags, I don't think there'll be a problem acquiring more. I just got to figure out where to do it. But I've been putting out the feelers. I've even been out collecting some already. Maybe I'll take you along. Maybe I'll show you how I acquire some of these materials. So the whole idea on this is using these materials for our off-grid builds, such as the plastic bottles and the bags, is that hopefully we could come up with a material that may be close to being as efficient as perhaps buying something. Keeps the stuff from going to waste, going into landfills, going to the oceans, and maybe save us a little money in the end. It should be interesting to see how this goes. It is a shed, and I don't know if I would use this material for like a house or anything like that, but it should be interesting to see how well it helps control the temperatures. I'm eager to see how this plays into all the other things that we're doing on here and how that helps. Jessica started with working on finishing on the walls, and pretty soon after that it'll be plastering. So you definitely want to see that. All right. Thanks a lot for joining us, everyone. Remember, you can catch us on the same off-grid time, the same off-grid channel. We'll catch you on the next video.